Just Sawdust workshop. Part 11 of the vent conversion, and this time we're going to make all the electrics, you know, at least mount them in this frame and see whether we can connect it all to the leisure battery and the solar panels. I use this underfloor heating stuff, insulation stuff, where you normally put the water hoses through for underfloor heating. I've got a lot of that stuff left, so it's nice, it's the insulation, and I think when I do wiring I can actually get them in between this, and then, you know, I think this looks nice. So I've made all the holes for wherever a component comes, and then later on this is all going to be closed with a big plate, which is only going to be, you know, mounted with 6 screws or something, so whenever you need to be there at the wiring it will be reachable. All the fuses of course will be visible, so you can change fuses when they blow. So let's see whether we can make this into a nice little component of the car. Well, we're 2 days later and it looks chaos, but it is actually working perfectly. This board made me put the cables a bit in different ways, but yeah, it works. The solar panels aren't cleaned yet because we had all this dust from the fires, you know, ashes, and so they are almost covered. But still, it's now about 10 o'clock in the morning. Sun just coming out, and I'm drawing 75 watts from the panels, and the battery charges good. Let it go for 2 days just to see whether everything works, and it does. All the features that I wanted to have in the car are working. Our 4G router works. I have it on a switch because I don't want to have it on temporarily, so, but it works. Our fan up here, it's just loose now. I just put it up there for, you know, to show you. But I made a socket up here which I can touch. I've got little lights. We had like 10 of these little, you know, movable LED lights for like $7.95. So they're not even €1 a piece. And you can stick them in any USB socket you have, so that's really nice. And the fan now makes a lot of noise because it's just put in here and it's resonating against, but it actually works. And there's going to be another one on the other side. So I guess with the little air conditioning we've got, like a little box 5-volt air conditioning, we can keep it cool in this little part of the van. So yeah, that works. The emergency lights, little boxes here, that works too. The rear view camera, I mounted it upside down, so there's a rear view camera, but it actually works fine. But I had to put just lay a socket here, a 12-volt socket, because I found out that it works on 5 volts too, so I need to have the original plug in there, but that works. Then we've got things for the water pump on the back. We've got a switch for the right side so that the fan and everything works on that side. And then the middle one here just puts on this block. I took that completely apart. It came completely assembled, but that doesn't work. Then everything comes from one little tiny wire. And then all the amps have to go to that little tiny wire. So I just took it apart and used all this silicone thicker wire. So, but this will put on this block. So I've got a 12-volt here and the USB here. And this 12-volt socket will be for the kitchen unit that's coming here. So you think you got so much room in this board, why is everything so close together? Well, that's because there will be a kitchen, so from here till here it needs to be well, open. The kitchen's got to be here. So yeah, everything works well. I've got the little can size inverter, which is 100 watts. I tried it out. If I put it on, it'll work fine. I can charge my tool batteries. So that's the only thing on 220 volt. Works perfectly. And yes, then fuse box works good. And then for the router, I've got a little 12 volt, how do you call it, stabilizing little unit. So it gives exactly the 12 volts that it needs. So when there's fluctuation in the system, this thing makes sure that this always gets the right voltage. And little antenna on the roof, so, well, I haven't got the card yet. We just got to figure out which provider we have to got for, but it's, you know, it accept prepaid little cards. So here in Portugal you can get Vodafone for €30 a month unlimited. So if we go on a trip through Portugal, you just put a Vodafone one in, and then we've got internet wherever we are, almost 4G. It's not 5G yet, because that's not, you know, and that would become too expensive too. In a few years, these antennas and things like that will be cheaper, and then we can always upgrade. But for now, we've got 4G. Yeah, that's about it. You know, we're drawing 77 watts at the moment. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way things work. I've got a switch on the front, well, two switches, one for the solar panels, so I can put off the solar panels, and another one to put off everything that's using power. So when we put the van away or don't use for a few days, I can just switch that off, so the whole thing is, you know, there's no power on the whole panel. And I think that's a good way. And then of course the battery can charge. We could choose, you know, to leave the solar panels on to charge the battery, or we could even switch them off so everything is switched off in the car. And I think that gives a feeling of safety when that's done. Already put this panel in, got to screw that, and then this covers the whole area where the cables are back and where the MPPT charger is downstairs. And later on we put this panel on, but I've got to make one thing, and that is we might have a fridge or a cool box or whatever, and I don't have a socket other than this one here on 12 volt. So in the panel that comes in here, I'm gonna make another socket here somewhere down here, so we can always put in like a little fridge or cooler box or whatever. So yeah, still have to do that. But yeah, that explains a bit about how this works. It looks like chaos, but it isn't. It's all done like everything is, cable is the right size, and yeah, works really well. So I'm going on with, you know, finishing this. I have to put some new glue on our upholstery here, which came off in the years, but I've got the spray gun now, so the spray glue now, so I can fix that. Then I'm gonna put the panel in front of here. I need to make a battery box, and then I can start working on the kitchen. But that's for part 12 or 13 or 14 of this build. But for now, yeah, happy this all works, and I think in a week or two we can enjoy some trip with this fan. So see you in the next video at the logo.